Never miss an episode of the Final Furlong podcast. Subscribe now on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And now, here's your host, Emmet Kennedy.
Welcome to the Final Furlong podcast. Happy Halloween! If you're watching this on YouTube, I am Tony Stark, Iron Man. You're very welcome to the show. We got, is it It or the Joker? You know, this podcast deserves a better class of tipster. And I think the Joker's going to give it to them.
Have we started? Are we recording
Yes, we
already?
started, for goodness sake!
I wasn't even sure. Yeah, it's the Joker. I've been called the clown Joker my whole life, so here I am. Why so serious, boys?
You could have gone, why so serious? Like, really go for it. George, who are you?
I'll try and implement that.
It's Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, basically. It's like a sort of demon marching band type thing. It's a high concept album sort of thing. It's weird.
If you have to explain it, then...
Yeah.
Andy Newton, who are you for Halloween?
I'm nothing, but what I've done, I've brought this little pumpkin guy up there on my shelving, because if you press his hand, which we're not going to do, trust me, because then he starts singing the Monster Mash and starts spinning round. I've brought it in here to stop the kids playing it because it's been doing my head in. They've been playing it literally on repeat. So
you, sir, have done us a good service.
To see you went to so much effort, Andy. Well done.
Yeah, you sir have done us a good service. And the costume's great, Andy.
Trick or treat, boys. Trick or treat. Yeah. I didn't know.
Gordon Ramsay? Are you dressed as Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay.
Andy, with you, there's no tricks, man. It's all treats. The winners you've been given. Treats after treats for everyone around.
That's it, mate.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's going to be treat and not trick on this episode of the Final Furlong podcast. We've got National Hunt Racing to preview for you. We've already done the Breeders' Cup. We've done multiple shows with some of the best American experts we know, which we've had a lot of fun recording. There's been a great reaction to those. And by the way, if you're one of the new subscribers, you're very welcome to the Final Furlong podcast. It doesn't always start this chaotically. The regular listeners and viewers will tell you it absolutely does start this chaotically. But you're all very welcome to the show. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode of the Final Furlong podcast. And I'll give you an incentive to do that right now, because we have teamed up with our good friends at 1xBet to give you the opportunity to head to the Curragh this Sunday. It's the finale of the flat season in Ireland. It's a Group 3 card. 1xBet are sponsoring 3 races, including the Final Furlong podcast with 1xBet Handicap. And we have got tickets and dinner for 2 for 4 individual winners. So not only do you get 2 tickets to the Curragh this Sunday, your car parking is included, you'll be given a race program too, but you'll also get to dine in the Owners and Trainers Lounge on Sunday at the Curragh, and one of you will also get to present the award or the trophy for the 1xBet Final Furlong podcast handicap. Or we could do the maiden if you're not there on time for some bizarre reason, Peter. But ideally, the Final Furlong podcast 1xBet handicap, you will get to hand over that trophy. That means you also get into the winner's enclosure afterwards as well, and the winner's bar where everyone takes some photos and hangs out for a little bit. It's a great experience at the Curragh. We'd love to have you there with us. You got to be in Ireland to enter this. It's just much easier if you're in Ireland, but it's a very, very simple way to enter. All you have to do is subscribe to the Final Furlong podcast YouTube channel, which I'm sure you've already done. There's no way that you listen to this content for free and you haven't smashed the subscribe button. I'm certain you've done that already. We'd also like you to hit the subscribe button. Again, just very simple. Just hit the click to the 1xBet YouTube channel. We'll put a link to it in the description down below. It's 1xBet_Ireland on YouTube. So you can subscribe to the Final Furlong podcast, subscribe to 1xBet Ireland, and comment below with your horse of the season. No questions. Just tell us who was your favourite flat horse of the season. Peter Michael's going to say Ombudsman, obviously. Maybe who was your star of the season?
Syzygy. Has to be Syzygy.
Danny McLaughlin, who might be winning a trip to Paris, courtesy of 1xBet, as part of the 1xBet series on Sunday. More on that to come on Monday's show when we announce the winner. But best of luck to everybody who's part of that. But for you, tickets and dinner for 2 at the Curragh this Sunday. All you have to do is subscribe to the Final Furlong podcast YouTube channel, subscribe to the 1xBet Ireland YouTube channel as well, and comment below with your horse of the season. Syzygy, Trawlerman, Delacroix, Ombudsman, whoever it was that stood out for you. Comment below, let us know. We'll contact you tomorrow and let you know you've won. Don't worry if you're not on YouTube. You should be, but if you're not, don't worry about it. Maybe you're not registered for it. You can enter on X as well. We will randomly pick the winners. I'm not doing it. Neve is going to do it. We'll randomly pick 4 winners and contact you on Friday evening Saturday morning at the latest. And hopefully we'll see you at the Curragh on Sunday. It's a way of us saying thank you very much for your support of the show. And we'll announce the winners on Friday evening, Saturday morning. Best of luck to you, and you can enter on X as well. Okay, let's get into the previews of the weekend's racing. We're going to switch our attention to the National Hunt scene. And Envoi Allen, dual winner of the Champion Chase at Down Royal, is back for more. George Gorman, what do you make of the Champion Chase at Down Royal?
Yeah, look, Spillane's Tower was obviously excellent on the seasonal reappearance last year, and it just sort of got more disappointing as it went on, didn't it? Found the 50s, 2 from 2 at Down Royal. I think he won a novice hurdle, and he won the race over Shorter, the 2 mile 3 race here last year. He's undoubtedly better right-handed because he obviously has that tendency to jump right. Will he stay this far? Probably, I would have thought. But look, if there's a formula that works, let's just keep going with it until the wheels fall off. And Envoi Allen's 5 wins and a second at Down Royal from all of his trips there, including winning this race first time out last year from Hewick. He got beaten neck by Jerry Colon the year before. And actually, to be honest, his season was fine after that. Like we know he hates Kempton. His only previous visit there, he did all but fall, and this time he managed to unseat. And the run at Cheltenham, I just thought he looked like a horse in the Ryan head. Actually, maybe he's starting to need 3 miles as he gets older, because he was keeping on well in behind. He was just outpaced at halfway. It wasn't that bad a run at all. Like, he's been given a Racing Post rating of 158 for it. So it just shows how good they think Factor File is. But yeah, I just think if you're looking at this race afterwards, which is the horse that you see win, and you go, Jesus, why didn't I back that? And for me, it's Envoi Allen. And I'll stick with him until the day he stops winning races.
I find it difficult to disagree with you on that. He's just such a lovable horse as well. He's kind of a Rebel's Romance figure, if you like. He just keeps on winning, and he's one of the elder statesmen now. But there are some young progressive horses in this race. Spillane's Tower, you don't have to go back that far for him to be putting in top-class performances. Yes, he was disappointing on his last 2, but they were both in Grade 1 company. And even though it's a 22-length defeat, getting beaten by Galop on the Champ is no bad thing. And I do feel like Founder 50 is going to be in for a big season as well. Andy, who are you with?
Yeah, Founder 50, like George said, I think the trip's going to be the big question mark. If he stays, then it's going to be certainly dangerous. Elliott's won this 5 times, the same amount as Nichols, actually. Obviously, he hasn't got a runner. So he could go, outright on his own. He's got, Western Fold as well. And also Stellar Story. I'll get onto that in a minute. Western Fold's obviously the potential improver in the race, course winner. The interesting thing for me, though, was the jockey bookings on that one, because Danny Gilligan's been riding it, and he's chosen, I'm not sure if there's a reason why. I don't know if he's, if there's more alliance with the Gigginstown and so on, but he has opted for Stellar Story, which is, 2 or 3 times the price. So there might be something there. I don't know, but, that just sort of caught my eye a little bit. Spillane's Tower, again, like George said, sort of fell off a cliff a little bit after the good run in the John Durkin. So and I can't believe it's sort of the same price as Envoi Allen, really, but because I don't know what they're both about 2 to 1, 9 to 4, something like that. And as George mentioned, you can't knock its form at Down Royal. It's only ever been beaten once, isn't it? And that was in this race by short head. So I don't think any 11-year-olds ever won this race. So it'll be a first in that respect. But, this will be, its 30th race. So you probably could say it's fairly lightly raced for an 11-year-old. I don't know, probably just on the borderline of that. But it only had 3 runs last year. This will be a big target again. 2 to 1 looks a great price to me, to be honest.
Okay, I'm very much liking that. 2 for Envoi Allen. According to Alfred, some men can't be reasoned with. They can't be bought. They can't be bargained with. Some men just want to watch the world burn. So, Joker, who's going to burn down Royal?
Well, I mean, the obvious starting point is Envoi Allen. I have to agree with the lads. And with the record the horse has at the track, Henry will probably have... Henry will probably... You're right there, but I'll be
so ridiculous. The Joker is telling you.
The Joker actually runs tomorrow on Friday, so maybe that's a tip in itself. But listen, I'll be professional here. I'll let you continue laughing. Henry probably will have this horse a little bit more primed than he normally would for a horse of this caliber for the first Sunday season because of the record the horse has at this track. So yeah, I agree with the lads. Envoi Allen would be the one I would side with. And you have to respect Western Fold. I mean, obviously you have to respect nearly everything in this field. That, you know, that's the thing we're talking about jumps racing. These horses don't need an introduction. They come back year in, year out. We know them well. Spillane's Tower found the 50. I mean, they're all top class. Western Fold, just because as well, you know, he's improving, he's younger, and he's got fitness on his side, so you have to give him a chance as well. But Envoi Allen might be more primed than the other fancied ones, and with his record at the track, I'll probably side with him over Western Fold.
I was going to try and keep the costume up, but I can't. It's not going to work. My costume is a little bit more...
yeah, it's harder to leave.
It's not quite as user-friendly as your one. The Joker giving you full breakdowns of race analysis is just absolutely Have you done something to your hair, Peter? You look slightly different today.
Yeah, no, I thought I looked good today for a change.
Yeah, no, Peter, no, you always look good. To be fair, don't do that.
No,
okay.
For once, I thought I looked better than Gorgeous George today. For once, look.
All right, let's switch to Wetherby. Some more of your old favourites are going to be in action for the Charlie Hall Chase, including last year's winner, the Real Whacker, who gets first-time cheek pieces. He's a 7-1 shot as we record with 1xBet. In fact, he might have just been cut to 6-1. Hewick, who's eligible to improve on his second start of a layoff, and did improve last season for second start of a layoff to be second to Envoi Allen at Down Royal. But this time around, the Shark sends him to Wetherby for the Charlie Hall Chase. He's about 7-2. Protector at it. Doesn't have a penalty, which makes him interesting, 5-2. Pick Dory, first go at this distance, a 4-1 shot. And Jello, who ran a huge race at Exeter in the Halden Gold Cup, and he's come back last season over an inadequate trip, will be much more suited to this distance. And he was hugely impressive at Wetherby. At Huntington, I should say, last season, and then bounced back again at Newbury. If the rain continues to fall, that's going to be in his favour. Really interesting race, this one, George. Who are you going to side with?
Yeah, it is an interesting race. That's the best way to sum it up. Protectorat surely isn't really his trip. I know he has won over this distance, but you've got to say for a horse that's won and run well in a Ryanair, he's got to be better over sort of stiff 2.5. Hewick, when was the last time he actually won over fences? Last King George?
In the King George, yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Like that sort of says enough for me. Jello, this isn't his trip either. Garlaw only runs well in handicaps at Cheltenham. Sort of leaves you with the Real Whacker and Pick Dory for me. It's one of those where they said horse that won it last year won it again at 7-1 and you hadn't backed it in first time cheap pieces. And he had a prep run, hasn't he?
Yeah, over hurdles.
Yeah, it's just it's the one I would kick myself if I hadn't backed. Because again, you say, well, Pick Dory, you've got a bit of an unknown there, and will he stay the trip? I just think the Real Whacker's pretty sort of... He's the bet that I'd kick myself if I didn't make. And for that reason, I think when you're talking like first-time out horses, he's the one that's had a run other than Hewick. And, yeah, he's coming back to where he's done it before, and he's got the best man on board. So I think I'd have to go with the Real Whacker really here at that price. I think he's completely the wrong price.
And to be fair, his defeats last season, okay, he was beaten 3 times afterwards, but they came in the Gold Cup, the King George, and in a Grade 1 at Aintree as well. So he was really tilting. I still don't understand how he beat Jerry Colomb, but I do think he's got a good chance of winning this race, Andy.
God, don't bring up that Jerry Colomb.
Don't mention the war.
That was the whip rules that cost Jerry Colomb that race.
Stupid rules.
It is. He kept responding for it. And who rode him again? I can't remember. Was it Sam, was it? No,
it was Jordan Gainford. Do you mean the Real Whacker? Sam Tristan Davis was on the Real Whacker.
No. Jerry Colomb.
Yeah, Jordan Gainford.
Was it Jordan? Yeah, you could see one more hit.
You can tell by which one's still there.
Yeah, anyway, we'll move on. Speaking of jokers, we mentioned the BHA.
Don't. It's just gonna send me off on a rage rant, and I don't want to do that. Andy, who's gonna win?
Look, it's a tricky. I think we can probably rule out Jamie Snowden's horse Galore, based on the ratings and everything. And like George said, the value is probably with last year's winner. I mean, the last back-to-back winner of this race though was Seymour Business.
What?
Back in 1999, 2000, and then before that it was one man. So you don't get a lot of winners going on in this. And then the other sort of tricky stat based on the age, and the top three in the market, Protector at Hewick and Pic D'Orhy, all age 10. And you have to go back to 2004 to find the last 10-year-old winner, and that was Grey Abbey, ridden by the remarkable Graham Lee that year. So there are sort of bits and bobs with the stats. And then you've got, Jello, the 7-year-old, the potential improver there. I mean, it did win the Denman over pretty much 3 miles. Yeah. So, the trip, what we talked about, it should be okay here. It's just sort of, Venetia Williams' form at the moment. She normally does it right at this time of year. Hasn't really had many runners and kicking off and that kind of thing. Has to give £6 away though to Hewick and Protector out, which is not going to be easy. So there's just all bits and bobs going all over the place. And then Pic D'Orhy, obviously Nichols has got a great record, and this he's won it 5 times. Needs one more just to equal Twiston Davis. I think he's got 6. But it's just a trip. Will Pic D'Orhy stay? But on a plus, we know he's super duper fresh. First time out. I think he's won for the last 4 seasons first time out. So this is the right time to catch him. He's never run at Wetherby, I don't think, but that probably applies to, a few of these. So it is a very tricky one. And, Hewick, I agree again with George, hasn't won. I did look back, it was the King George last time it ran over hurdles, won over fences. So that was 2023. So a long time ago, a few hurdles wins in between that. So I think probably just based on the freshness record, I think I'll have a little chance on Pic D'Orhy getting home. Could just steal a bit of a march from the front and go from there. But the Real Whacker does look an interesting price.
Okay, big ride for Harry Cobden. He is winning. How many is he getting for Paul Nicholls? And this is a big race for Nicholls as well. Peter Michael, who are you with?
For me, looking at this, I mean, there's not much between them. So my starting point would be who I know is fit, and that's Hewick. And obviously the Real Whacker has had a run as well. I wouldn't be too concerned about Hewick not having won a race over fences for, what was it, 2022, the boys said?
23.
I wouldn't be. I mean, he's genuine. He'll run his heart out for you, and he jumps well. So for me, that's not a bother. So the sharp track mightn't be ideal. That might be more of a concern for me with him. But yeah, look, I'll side with him. He's got a touch of class as well. More, I'd say, a touch of a class than the Real Whacker. Take nothing away from the Real Whacker. I mean, he's a very likeable horse. But he also has to give Hewick £6. So yeah, Hewick for me in this one. Then he's race fit, and he should be running on well at the end.
Okay, Hewick is currently trading at 7-2 with 1xbet. You might need to act fast on that though, because I think he's going to shorten. And I think it's really interesting he goes for this race and not Down Royal, having run such a big race in it last year. So I might be leaning more towards you, primarily because of Andy's stat. I didn't know that there had been a back-to-back winner since Seymour Business. And before that one, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that at all. And now I'm remembering Brave Man's Game getting turned over in this race when he was going for the double as well. Saying, yeah, I might skip that one, bro. Okay, we're going to switch back to the 115 at Wetherby. But before we do, if you haven't entered our competition yet, you and a friend could be on your way to the Curragh for the season finale on Sunday, where not only will your parking be taken care of and you'll get yourself a race program. Yeah, that's all great. You will also get dinner for 2 in the Owners and Trainers Lounge. Dine like a boss at the Curragh for the finale on a Group 3 card where 1xbet are sponsoring 3 races this Sunday. It's just easier if you enter this if you're in Ireland. If you want to fly over, that's your own expense. You're more than welcome to do so. But if you're in Ireland and you'd like a trip to the Curragh on Sunday and a nice meal for 2 in the Owners and Trainers, join us on Sunday afternoon. Comment below with your horse of the season. Can be any horse, whoever you want. It can be a jump horse. It can be a flat horse. It should be a flat horse, really. But whoever you want to put in there, comment below. And make sure you subscribe to the Final Furlong Podcast YouTube channel and to the 1xbet YouTube channel as well, as they're only starting out on YouTube and they need your helping hand from you. So to celebrate the 1xbet's partnership with the Curragh and with Final Furlong Podcast, it's a chance for you and a friend to join us at the Curragh this Sunday, courtesy of 1xbet and the Final Furlong Podcast. And one of the 4 winners, will get to present the winning connections of the Final Furlong Podcast with 1xbet Handicap, their trophy. You'll get to be in the photograph. You'll get to go up to the winner's enclosure in the Curragh afterwards and hang out with the great and the good. And if you're not driving, you can down a few glasses of champagne as well. So enter now. Comment below on YouTube. If you're listening to this, you can enter on X at Radio Emmet, at Final Furlong Pod is where you'll see the tweets to enter. Comment, like, and subscribe to the Final Furlong podcast. Subscribe to the 1xBet YouTube channel. You got to do that. If you haven't done that, you're not entered. And comment below. That'll be your entry. Best of luck to you. And this episode is powered by 1xBet.ie. More than 7,000 events for you to bet on every single day on the 1xBet website in Ireland. Fast withdrawals, new customer specials, loads of activities. And part of those new customer specials is bet 10 and get €30 in free bets to do it whatever you want, including perhaps bet at the Breeders' Cup or back the boys' selections this weekend. So if you're betting in Ireland, 1xBet.ie is the place to go. 1xBet.ie, 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. 1xBet knows the crack. Bet with your head, not above it. Okay, back to Wetherby for the 115. It's a handicap chase. It's a class 3. We've got a Tristan Davis horse at the top of the betting. He's drifted from 11 to 8 out to 15 to 8. Is he going to be in the winner's enclosure, though? George Gorman.
There's no doubt that's the right favourite. Lightning Flash. He's up £5 for absolutely spread eagling the field at Cheltenham and Chase debut. I think he might have only won by 5 lengths. I think it was like 25 lengths back to the third and then the same against the fourth. It was a demolition job. And he's only a 5-year-old. He's probably going to carry on improving. Is the £5 going to stop him? Probably not. And if you said that was your bet for the race and that's that, I'd leave you to it. But I'm going to take a bit of a swing on one each way here. The outsider of the lot, Jerryville.
Oh.
Now, he doesn't win very often. This is going to sound really positive, but he doesn't win very often. He's only won 4 times over fences, and he is now 9 years of age. But of those 4 wins over fences, 2 of them are course and distance. He's only run 3 times over course and distance in his life. First, third, first. His last win was over course and distance back in January, off just £1 lower than this. And I think that high strike rate over course and distance sort of is very impressive. He has won twice off a break of 50 days or more, which, you know, he's had a lot of those breaks and hasn't always done the business. But he's won twice off break of 50 days or more, including this race 4 years ago. Look, he's a bit everything or nothing. He sort of tends to do one good run, one bad run. But the good news, the last one was bad, and it was back in April. So hopefully this will be a good one, freshened up, back over the course and distance he enjoys the most. Only £1 higher than his last winning mark. I certainly don't think this horse should be outsider of the whole field.
Second to do your job, 2 starts back off a mark of 120 and now £2 lower. I like it. 14 to 1. I think I'm going to follow you in blindly, unless Andy Newton's got something for us.
Look, I do think that Lightning Flash, I'm a bit worried about the drift, and I don't know, maybe it's to do with the ground, I don't know, but it has run okay on soft ground if they're going to get some more rain there. You know, that last win did come on good to firm, we'll see. But it was quite likeable that day. You know, the horse called, I think it was called Pure Carbon, came up to it, stuck his neck out, Lightning Flash, and, you know, battled on again. That was his first run over fences, only 5. But the interesting thing is that Tristan Davis won this race last year, and they won it with the same ownership, a horse that Nigel Tristan Davis owns called Tedley. I think Peter's put that up before in his tipping Telegram channel, if I remember rightly.
The Joker agrees.
The Joker agrees. And they also have won this race back in 2019, Tristan Davis as well. Like George mentioned, Jerryville's won it in the past as well. Also, there's another past winner, that Ladrone, who won it, I think, in 2022, rated 109. It's now 112. And that's another one that really likes Wetherby. I think its form here is 1-3-1-5-2-4-4-1 or something like that. So it's always there or thereabouts. It's another old timer, 11-year-old. So look, Lightning Flash are probably the best bet, and don't rule out the 2 past winners, that Ladrone and Jerryville, yeah.
Joker, who were you with?
Yeah, Lightning Flash for me. I was impressed with him the last time. Look, it was only 500 race, and he got to run the race, but he jumped well, and he was never really going to lose. Look, it's, you know, you have to be careful, because whilst he does look impressive, it is still early season form, and it will be still early season form for another 4 or 5 weeks. But this doesn't look a great race again. I think I see no reason why he won't be banged there turning in. And the way he jumped the last time, if you can get into a good rhythm again for Samuel Tristan Davis, or STD, as the initials of him are, I think he'll be hard to beat. But look, the odds are fair. You know, I wouldn't say he's major value, but at the same time, I wouldn't like to be laying him. So, yeah, I think he's the most likely winner. So I'll definitely be putting him up lightning flash, and he'd be one for a combination bet if anyone's doing that. Well, Emmet will be doing that anyway.
I'm going to be doing combination bets left, right, and centre for the Breeders' Cup for sure. But you heard it here first.
Sorry, speaking competitions, because I need some of the guys who won my competition to contact me.
Yes.
Gavin Shorthall's already in my group. So, Gavin, you're saving yourself 40 quid this month. Simon Hutchings, GC Jenks, he already contacted me. The Only Fish, and Mark Young. Mark Young hasn't contacted me yet. Mr. Jenks has contacted me. The Fish hasn't. And Simon Hutchings, I can't remember if he's contacted me or not. I must check it. But for whoever hasn't contacted me, they need to, so I can add them into the group the start of next month. Okay. Join the Jokers group. If what can go wrong.
So the Joker's actual persona is at Peter Michael Racing on X. So you can contact him there to get yourself the free access to the excellent Telegram group. Or if you just want to join his brilliant Telegram group, then you should be contacting him there as well. At Peter Michael Racing on X. And well done to those who won. And of course, if you haven't entered already, comment below with your horse of the season. Subscribe to the Final Furlong Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe to the 1xBet Ireland YouTube channel as well for your chance to win tickets to the Curragh this weekend. 2 tickets and dinner in the Owners and Trainers Lounge. We will announce the winner.
Will I bring the mask for whoever's presenting it?
Yeah, I do. I just thought what was more interesting is that it's now confirmed that it's STD for the Joker. Anyway, moving swiftly along to the 1:30 at Ascot, the Ascot Underwriting Novices Limited Chase. No questions asked, Joker. He's favourite, 9-4 with 1xBet in Ireland. Viraflay, let's just go with that, shall we? For the Olive Nichols and Paul Nichols partnership, 4-1, and Don't Tell Sue. On first start, having switched from Paul Nichols now to Nicky Henderson, George Gorman, who is going to take the 1:30 at Ascot?
Yeah, no questions asked. I think was very well campaigned last year. Like he did win 3 races, but he won them at 1-5 and won them at 1-2. Like he's very well placed to find weak races, and as such, I think probably isn't that well handicapped. Well, as shown when he ran in the Martin Piper at Cheltenham, fell out the back of the TV. You have to improve for fence being by ask. He probably will, but I think he probably needs to come down the weights. Viraflay, similarly. This horse was a mid-120s horse all day long running in Hunter Chases, and then suddenly one good run there at Punchestown, where essentially it was just a very good ride to slip the field from Olive Nichols. And suddenly he's up to 136. I can't see that he can be well handicapped off that. The horse I do like, and is one of my horses to follow for Gary's this year, is Lillian. She's beat 3 lengths on Hurdle's debut by a horse called Nicoluocta, I think is how you say it. That horse went on to win at listed level twice at Auteuil afterwards. She had like bits and pieces of form over hurdles, but on chase debut, she won by 7 lengths at Dieppe. And while the horses he beat didn't go on, while the horses he beat didn't go on to do a lot. That's the trouble with a horse called Lillian. That's a gelding. Then he went out next time to Dieppe again and finished second. The third horse won a handicap on her very next start. Look, he could be anything. It's hard. It's really hard to know with the French ratings and that quite well handicapped she'd be. But I think the £7 4-year-old allowance will help a lot. This horse doesn't act like a 4-year-old whatsoever. Like he knows the time of day. Touch wood. He's a very good jumper. And I think he could just be one of these. I think we won this race with Nassalam as a 4-year-old as well. It's a race that sort of it can pay early in the season if you've got a very forward horse to take that £7 off him. And I think he's still overpriced in the market. He's been nibbled at. I think he opened about 7s or 8s. He's into sort of 11-2 with some people now. So he could well get shorter by the time this goes out. But I'd give him a chance receiving all the way. Okay,
and Gary Moore's won this twice since 2017. Andy, for you?
Yeah, Bentador was the other one that they won it with before Nassalam. So it's certainly interesting that Lillian, and like you say, George. When I spoke to George, we did a bit of a Gary and Josh Moore sort of stable ones to look out for. This was one that George put up, which is interesting. So
where can that be read?
Sportscasting, you can go over there, just search for it, and there's, I think, might be about 6 horses that George put up there, potentially 5 or 6.
Check that out. It's going to be called Sportscasting.
Yeah.
Check it out.
George, the pressure's on you, mate.
Yeah.
I know. I end up doing it for someone every year, and sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes bad. I put up his Alderi a couple on his Chase debut season. That went quite well. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. But look, 8 of the last 10 of these have been won by 6 or 7-year-olds. So the 4-year-old, I know it, gets the weight and everything. That would be the slight concern. But he has got some form in France and whatever to bring to the table. Hendo won this last year with that Baloo, so he goes again with that Don't Tell Sue, who was a former Paul Nicholls horse, I think, if I remember rightly.
One of the few, yeah.
The few, so that will be interesting if they chin his only runner in the race. But an 8-year-old, that Vera Play, and I'm not quite sure about that one either, to be honest with you. So everything just comes back to no questions asked, I think. Yeah, look, you can put a line through the Martin Pipe. It just sort of bombed out for whatever reason in that. But you go before that, and he's got some quite good sort of back form there, with especially with that Calafay and Vol, the other Henderson horse at Huntingdon, where it's only, I think, half a length second to that. Chasing's always been on the cards for this one. It won first time out last season. Ben Pauling's going all right. Ben Jones is riding very, very well at the start of this jump season. So yeah, no questions asked for me. Could be the key, the answer.
If Nicky Henderson does win this race with the former Paul Nicholls horse, I just predict that the Joker, will be in the parade ring going, "It's not about the money, it's about sending a message." Isn't that right, Joker? So who are you with?
Well, I find this interesting. So let's cut all the bullshit out of this now. George, you've put Lillian as one of your horses to follow.
Yeah.
You work for the stable. Do you ride this horse out?
I haven't sat on this horse now.
Okay, so somebody's told you then that this horse is a horse to follow. Come on, George. Yeah. No secrets between us. Come on.
I know he's scored very, very well. We're very pleased with him so far.
There we go, boys. So I'm going to follow George in. How can I not follow him? I respect him. I respect his opinion. And he's put this horse up as one of the horses to follow.
Well, look, I think the thing is, you get that £7 for a 4-year-old because you're talking about inexperience and backwardsness. This horse has run a shed load of times, and he's had a load of starts over fences, or a couple of starts over fences already. So, the reason he's getting that £7 doesn't apply to him, but he gets the £7 anyway.
Yeah.
That's crucially what you're talking about with this horse. Whereas Nassalam was a raw 4-year-old and managed to win it anyway. He was still plenty unfurnished at the time. This horse is what it's going to be in 2 years already. So he's getting £7 for nothing.
See, I was going to go with no questions asked, but tell me, Emmet, how can I go against George, who works with this horse, and he's put this horse up as a horse to follow for the season, and he's a nice price first time out. Obviously, he knows he's fit enough to do himself justice. Yeah. This is what they call from the horse's mouth, isn't it?
Yeah, literally. It turns out that the Joker persona really suits you, as the aggressive line of questioning worked.
So, George, I'm piling all the pressure on you here, mate. So the whole Final Furlong podcast viewers are going to be having 10 and 20 on this.
Yeah.
If you win, you're a hero.
Yeah, you are legendary status if Lillian wins, and you will be despised if this horse gets beat.
I was going to say, in keeping with his costume, was it you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain?
Two-Face.
This is probably going to get a big gamble going on this horse. George is probably going to get fired after this for giving out this information.
Spoilers.
I've picked my words very carefully. I'll be fine.
Spoilers for The Dark Knight, a film that's 15 years old. But yeah,
I'll go with George. I'll follow George and Lillian for me. I was going to go for no questions asked, but I'll follow Gorgeous George.
We're going to race through this because I have a funny feeling the power is going to go, because the light has flickered a couple of times now, and the power has gone off twice in the last week. 1 hour and 30 minutes before I went live on TalkSport 2 last week, it decided to go off. Didn't come back until 40 minutes into the radio show. That was a lot of fun. That was absolutely hilarious fun. And it went off again last night. And there wasn't even a storm last night, but there's a bad one now. So let's race through it. Grundon Waste Management Handicap, 2 mile 1. Load of Sud is back in action. Big ride for Tristan Doyle. He's going to claim £3 off Dan Skelton's winner. He's a 4-1 shot with 1x bet. Martador, really likeable horse, a multiple winner, although it's been a while since he was in the winner's enclosure and he's been beating wide margins in his last few starts. Ned Fox takes 5 off him. He's a 6-1 shot. And Boot Hill, now at the age of 10, a 15-2 shot. George, who are you with?
Yeah, I'll just do a quick line on our horse, this Arderix. I think, was that the same race he ran in last year when he was second to Martador?
Yeah.
He's a pound higher from then, but a pound better off with Martador once you account for the jockey's claims, because I think he would be substantially better off, but they're claiming off Martador this time round. He's twice a winner and once second off breaks for 50 days or more. He does go well fresh. He won't be my selection this, but I wouldn't put anyone off him. Starting place for me, Shake Your Tail Feather. £7 claimer means he's only a pound higher than when taking a Class 2 handicap at Kelso by 7 lengths last time on his seasonal reappearance. On the 3 occasions he's had a break of 50 days or more, he's improved his RPR from first start to second. Even when pointing, he pulled up on his debut before finishing third on his second start. So this is a horse that comes on for the run, and he's basically run a career best first time out. And he's only a pound higher. I think he's got a massive chance. He's a really, really decent price there. See what exactly he was. Is he 16s? You can get 16s pretty much across the board.
Yep.
The other one I give a mention to is Gabriel's Getaway down the bottom of the betting. Given a very sympathetic ride behind Bad at Kempton on his seasonal debut / first run since a wind-up. His highest winning mark is £5 lower than this, but he's been very sparingly raced for a horse of his age and seems to be coming good now. His 3 highest LPRs have come from his last 4 starts. One of those was, like I said, last time when not particularly put in the race. If he can build on that on his second start of the season and his second run since a wind-up, he could be a big threat to Shake Your Tail Feather and the rest of them.
22-1 is the price about the Gabriel's Getaway for the Honeyball team. Okay, Andy Newton, follow that.
Load of Sud's going to be, he's going to be popular, obviously, with Dan Skelton team. But I just worry about he has a big weight, isn't it? 11 stone 12, and I just a bit concerned that they got Tristan Durrell on there, which was a huge ride for him here, claiming 3, and I just wondered whether they've got that in the back of their mind as well, that he's a big weight. Obviously 4th in the Arkle last year, another big season on the cards, but does give a bit of a chunk away here. Boot Hill won this race 2023, now age 10, can't have that really. He's fallen 3 of the last 6 I think it's been in. The Nichols horse, that sounds brilliant. It's a bit more of a spring horse, I think, something that ain't true late in the season personally. And then we're coming back to last year's winner at Martador. And I didn't realise that Ned Fox was on it actually, claiming 5 until earlier today, which is sort of added to confidence. It's up £7 from last year, so it's only really a couple of pounds higher because he wasn't riding it last year. Charlie Deutsch, I think, was. We know that he fell off the back of a cliff, after it won this, and it won, I think, again at Ascot in November.
Back over person distance, under Ned.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but this is the time of year to catch it. Venetia Williams, 40% strike rate at the track. And then I think I'll probably do a little couple it up with that General Medrano. Emma Lavelle horse is going super duper at the moment. Gone well fresh in the past as well. And has form tied in with that Petit Tonnerre, but loads better off at the weight. If you look back on its form with that, I think it was only a length or so behind it, and it's about £13 better off for that Petit Tonnerre. So, General Medrano and Matador.
Yeah, I'm with you with Matador for sure, last year's winner. Peter, for you?
Well, I mean, looking at this, to me, Lou Desad sticks out here. I'd say 4-1 is pretty generous. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes, closer to 5-2, 9-4, something like that. Maybe even 2-1. Look, Dan is going to want to get every bit of prize money right from the start of the season to the end to try and finally win the title and stop Ollie from, rubbing him late on. Look, he just sticks out to me here. Obviously, I know he's a weight. He's a top weight. He's got to give away a good bit of weight, and it won't be easy, especially first time out. But he's off 155. Tristan takes off 3, 152. Yeah, and and the type of horse he is, he's a keen horse. He's a bit buzzy, so I wouldn't say he'd take a lot of getting fit as well. I'd say he'd nearly get himself fit at home. I could be way wrong. So yeah, him for me, and I was actually also going to mention, now I don't know if he's got the class to beat these, but I was going to mention the one George mentioned, Gabriel's Getaway. I just thought with fitness on his side, he'll travel well and he might run on into a place. If he wins, it'd be a bonus. But yeah, Ludasad for me in this one. I think if the support comes from him, which I imagine it will, I think he could be hard to beat here. But again, it's early season form, early season racing. You know, you have to do half. You know, if I was going to put 2 points winning this horse in my tipping group, I'd only put one. So I'd advise everybody to half their bets. You know, it wouldn't be weighing in, but at the same time, for this time of year, I think he's got a good chance. So him for me, and something small in Gabriel's Getaway.
Grade 1 form and a handicap. 310 is the Lavazza handicap hurdle. Alexi is your 7-2 favourite from Washington for Harry Derman, Paul O'Brien. A 5-1 shot with 1xbet in Ireland. George, who are you with?
The 310. We've got, I think Alexi is probably the right favourite here, to be honest. Don't really get how he escaped going up in the weights for that good run last time, and like he'll only improve for that. Like Celtic Dino would have been laid out for that race, wouldn't he? So anything that finished within 5 lengths of him is probably well handicapped. I think that's probably the right one to be with. If I was going outside him, I think Freddie Keithley, £7 off Fasol, could be very, very useful here. He's also shown plenty of talent, particularly the third in the National Novice Hurdle final, what they call it now, at Sandown. Beaten 5 lengths by Give It To Me OJ, who was running off 137 that day. Substantially higher now. Like, Give It To Me OJ obviously won the Masters at Cheltenham the other day. That's a very good run to finish within 5 lengths of him. He was running off 115 that day. He's only £1 higher here, but with £7 off his back. So he's effectively £6 lower than he was running off behind Give It To Me OJ that day. I think he'd be very interesting with the £7 off his back, and the betting has sort of spoken in terms of the Nichols horses that he's shorter than Affadil. But yeah, those would be the two that I'd sort of look at for this race.
Andy, who's on your shortlist?
Shortlist is actually that one that George just mentioned, that Fassel. I think Nichols could have potentially a 1-2 here, because I think Affadil was interesting as well. It was fourth in the race last year off 1-2-7. It's now 1-2-2. Actually, as well, when you look back, I think it lost a shoe in that race 12 months ago. So and has had a wind off as well. So yeah, look, I mean, and that Fassel was sent off favourite last time out, and it travelled very well in that Chepstow race. He just got a little bit tired in the sort of last furlong or two. So the 19 of the last 21 have been aged just 4 or 6 here as well. So there's a couple of older ones in there. Washington and that Move It Like Mini could be a tad too old. Oh Betty won first time out last season as well, so it might be interesting with that. Toby McCain Mitchell claiming 5, but 2 Nichols ones here. I think the Freddie Keithley claim, he had a good winner at Cheltenham, didn't he? I think last week. So yeah, could be interesting off 10 stone effectively.
Peter, for you?
I mean, you could give everything a chance in this race. It's wide open in my mind. I'm going to focus on Washington and Indemnity, but I mean, I wouldn't be, piling in on them at all. I'd be putting small bets on them. Just watching this. Washington, I thought, going back to last year, I liked his win in Ferry House. I was very disappointed with him in his 2 runs after. I thought he could go on to win more, but for whatever reason, he just ran 2 stinkers. And then obviously he's made a winning reappearance. He does go well fresh, so that is a worry if he'll back it up. But he did back it up last year. He won 2 in a row. And yeah, look, Washington, small stakes, and Indemnity, just for the simple fact that Emma Lavelle can improve horses when they start improving. She can really get them rolling. This horse has won his 3 handicap runs. Yeah, okay, there weren't great races, but he's won them well. I mean, he's gone up £20. It won't be easy, but if you're in Ireland and you've won 3 handicaps and won one of them by 9 lengths, you'd be going up double that. So
was that Cobden's 1,000th winner, wasn't it, on that one? Indemnity might be anyway.
I don't know. To be honest, and you're probably right as usual, but I don't know. Yeah. So those are the 2 I'd be putting up, but small stakes here.
Thank you, Joker or Pennywise. I genuinely can't tell which of the 2 it is. This episode of the Final Furlong podcast is presented by 1xBet. You can get 7,000 active markets every single day for you to bet on the 1xBet website in Ireland. Fast withdrawals, new customer specials, including bet 10 and get €30 to do whatever you want with. National Hunt Racing this weekend. or maybe the Breeders' Cup is what really interests you, you can sign up now in Ireland to the new bookmaker, shaking things up and sponsoring 3 races at the Curragh this Sunday. Hopefully you'll be joining us there if you've entered our competition, which you already know about. 1xbet.ie is where you can sign up. 1xbet.ie, 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. 1xbet knows the crack. Bet with your head, not above it. Sign up now at 1xbet.ie. We're going to very, very quickly race through a couple of races before we wrap up the show. Down Royal, the Kildress Plumbing Chase, it's the Grade 2. Firefox is a 6-5 on favourite with 1xbet, and I think he's going to take a fair bit of beating, George.
Yeah, like he's a horse I'm keen on, but he's got quite hard to predict, as is the case with a few of these. I think the one that I can find the best case for why their season went off a cliff was Croke Park. I just think he was on a real roll there, with a couple of Grade 1 novice chase wins. Then the ground went too quick for him at Cheltenham, I think, was the reason they didn't take him there. I just think he probably was just better off staying on the roll he was on. He had a little break and he just wasn't the same when he came back. I get people think he's better over 3 miles, but I'm just not 100% sure the stats sort of back it up. Like, he beat Hartwood in the Drinmore over 2.5, and that horse obviously went on to run extremely well at Cheltenham. And he finished second to Ballyburn over 2.5 at DRF. And that's 2 of his 3 career highest RPRs have come at intermediate trips. He's certainly not slow. You might sort of look slow over 3 miles. That's because he's adapting to the sort of race he's in. But I just think he's been severely underrated in the market. And look, it's not an indication as to where he ranks in my best bets for the weekend. But this is the only bet I've had so far this weekend. I thought him each way at 7s was to finish in the first 2, was sort of stealing money. You wouldn't be surprised to see him finish second, would you? And you wouldn't be surprised to see him win. I just think he's severely underrated in the market at the moment, the way it is there. I don't think there's a lot between him and Firefox at all.
Well, I often speak very positively of Proform, which we lean on quite heavily for the form data and performance ratings and research, and their race cards have just come through for Saturday. Proformracing.com if you're interested. Croke Park is top rated. He gets a top rating of 345. His forecast SP is 9-4, and you're getting 7-1 with 1xbet. So I'm not going to argue with that. And if I remember correctly, I am still kind of in flat mode, but if I remember correctly, Gordon was of the opinion that intermediate trips suit him best. So I think you could be right. And initially I thought Firefox...
I should mention he's not weighted favourably with some of these.
No, he's not.
But I think he might be the best source, and sometimes that's enough.
It favours Firefox for sure, but Firefox's odds on, yours is 7-1. Andy?
Yeah, I mean, Elliott's won for the last 3, I think 4 of the last 5 or something like that, and he's probably going to get the winner here. Croke Park probably does get the value, but it's just giving away that £10, and it will be the niggle for me. Firefox, was it unbeaten here at Down Royal? I think he is 2 from 2. Goes well fresh, won first time out last season. And I just think Firefox is getting the way. I think it's the obvious call here. But I do maybe a little forecast for Croke Park. I think Elliott 1-2.
Andy Newton, the Sultan is succinct. Absolutely magic. Peter, briefly, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Firefox does look the most likely winner. But as you said, I mean, he is 5-6. Croke Park for me is the value with fitness on his side. But look, it won't be easy to give Firefox that weight. So I don't know. It depends what the viewers want to do. If they want to go for the most likely winner, it's Firefox. If they want to go for the value, it's Croke Park.
Ooh, 2 boys in agreement. I'm loving that. I'm definitely going Croke Park now at this point. Each way scumbag multiple. Here we go. Final race to talk about is the 3:45. It's the Sodexo live, because it's an exclamation mark, so you have to shout it. Gold Cup Handicap Chase. The Changing Man is your favourite 1xbet. Is he going to win, though, George Gorman? Who have you sided with?
This is a tricky race. Like there's a couple that I'll just mention that sort of coming back off like injuries and things, but like Blow Your Wad, you got to bear in mind, former Pendle winner, missed the first half of the season last year, but signed off with a decent 5th in the Silver Trophy at Cheltenham, and he makes his seasonal reappearance after a wind-up wearing a first-time visor. So any move in the market for him would be very interesting. Similarly, anyone who wanted to back old 2 for Gold, I couldn't put off. He's only been out of the first 4 over jumps at Ascot once, and that was on his second start last year, which was followed by a 99-day break. So I'd say something went wrong that day. He was 4th in this last year, off £4 higher on seasonal debut, which it will be again this year. but he is £2 off of worse with Neon Moon, who was the third that day, who will be my main selection in this.
Oi, oi.
Neon Moon has had 4 wins off the back of breaks of 50 days or more, including last season when he then went on to finish third in this off £6 higher than he's off now. He was due to run at Chepstow on the 11th, so fitness won't be an issue. He's going to be my main selection here. The other one at a big price that I would have as my each way selection be Oliver's Travels. Has had a very profitable summer. He's been in the first 3 on 6 of his last 9 starts. 2 of those other runs were fourths, by the way. And his 6-length defeat of Lord Accord 3 starts back reads very well, because that horse won off the same mark as he was on that day on Sunday by 3 lengths at Fontball. So he would be of interest as the sort of race fit, more sort of summer jumping-y type. But of the proper national hunt horses, I'd be with Neon Moon.
Andy?
It was a tricky race because there's sort of trip issues with some of them. Marble Sands actually won the bumper on this card a few years back or back in the day as well. So that could be interesting if he gets to trip Marble Sands. Baloo won on this meeting last year as well, the Hendo horse we talked about earlier. And there's a bit of an age stat. 9 of the last 10 have been aged between 5 and 8. And really, the Changing Man is the obvious one. I think he's going to be there or thereabouts. He's only won once over fences, but where did that come? Here at Ascot. So I think that's the most solid bet. And if you're looking for a bit of a 20 to 1 shot, the one George mentioned at 2 for Gold, surely got history in this race. This would have been a target. And each way, 20 to 1, 2 for Gold looks interesting.
In the words of Emily Jashinsky, land the plane, Peter Michael.
Yeah, another competitive race, as you'd expect for handicap, Premier Handicap at Ascot on Saturday. I'll take a chance on the complete outside of the field, Coast Guard Station. He's a horse I've liked in the past. 2 miles, he'd always travel well. He'd always run on, but he wouldn't run on as you would expect. Sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. I don't know what that was. I think, anyway.
It's Commissioner Gordon looking for the Joker.
Look, last time he was up to 2 miles 5. Sean Bowen rode him. The 2 fellas, one of, I can't really remember exactly, but they went an absolutely, suicidal pace up front. And Sean just let them at it. And as usual, he rode them to sleep by, taking his time. So the race kind of fell into his lap a bit. But, he has won over 3 miles before in point to point. He is by Dylan Thomas. I'd be hoping he'd be travelling very, very well with about 4 furlongs to go. Whether, he'll get home over fastly run 3 miles, I don't know. But 28 to 1, I think he's worth an each way bet for sure.
8 races previewed for you this weekend, all done in the company of 3 of my favourite pundits. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Final Furlong podcast. The naps are coming from the team in a second, but if you haven't entered already, last chance to get your entries in for the VIP tickets to the Curragh. Not only do you win tickets for you and a friend, and there are going to be 4 individual winners, so you and a friend at the Curragh on Sunday for the flat season finale, a Group 3 card where 1xBet sponsor 3 races, but also dinner for you and that friend in the Owners and Trainers Lounge at the Curragh. You get a race card. Your parking is taken care of as well. We're going to be there. Peter Michael will hopefully be there as well. I'd love to have the boys fly over, but that's going to be a bit awkward. So enter if you're in Ireland and you can make it to Kildare to the Curragh on Sunday. We'd love to see you there. One of you will get to present the winning trophy for the 1xBet Final Furlong podcast handicap, which is 1:55 on Sunday afternoon. So all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the 1xBet Ireland YouTube channel, subscribe to the Final Furlong podcast channel, which I'm sure you already have, and comment below with your horse of the season. Who is your favourite flat horse of 2025? It's no big question. That's all you got to do. If you can't enter on YouTube, if you're not registered for YouTube, don't worry about it. You can enter on X. Hopefully you're there. You can respond to @Radio Emmet or @Final Furlong Podcast. The method of entry is there. Best of luck to you. We'll announce the winner Friday night, Saturday morning, and hopefully we'll see you at the Curragh. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for listening to the Final Furlong Podcast. Get your entries in now, and of course, smash a like button on this video. It's a huge help to us with the algorithm. Enter now. Best of luck to you. Hopefully we'll see you at the Curragh on Sunday. Peter Michael, the Joker, your nap for the weekend is
the Joker
on Friday.
Has to be, doesn't it? No, no, he's not my nap. But I mean, if he I didn't even know he was running when I got this. So the Joker, obviously, I'm going to put something on him just because of that. He runs 110. But on the races we've previewed, look, I think Ludasad is value. I think 4 to 1 is value, but I'll go with the Tristan Davis horse, Lightning Flash. I'll go with him. there's no real excuses for him. So I'll go with him, and we'll put Ludesad as the next best, and Coast Guard Station as the next best.
You're bringing me around to Ludesad because the person I respect most with the speed figures, he sent me a WhatsApp about Ludesad this weekend as well, but I thought the weight was too big. George, your nap of the weekend is?
Yeah, I've got one bit of any other business as well, and just one thing I forgot to say on London Gold Cup, if I'm quick.
I'm sure you've got more than one bit of any other business, George.
No, just one. So I just forgot to mention about Blow Your Wad. I've just put it together in my head. First time Windop, first time Visor. One of his half owners has won this race twice before. Jerry Hines, who was the part owner of Larry and Traffic Fluid, who both won this race. So that's very interesting in that context, I think, the Windop and the first time Visor. The bit of any other business is the 3:30 at Wetherby, which will be on TV. Sligo Bay is obviously interesting. He's never out of the three. I couldn't put anyone off him. But there's one that smells of a bit of a plot to me, inappropriate. An unexposed 4-year-old, 4 runs, 1 win. That win came 3 starts back off £3 lower, followed by a very poor effort that prompted Connections to give him a wind up over the summer. Reappeared on the all-weather, which he'd only run on once before. Stinks of a prep run to me. Turns out here on his second run after a wind up, having had a prep run at a track that's fairly local to Trainer, I think about an hour away, is Jed O'Keefe's, on their Wetherby's biggest day of the year. It just looks like a plot to me, and he's a decent double-figure price. He's, about 11s across the board. So that's my bit of any other business. My nap is Shake Your Tail Feather at 16-1 in the 205 at Ascot. And and the next best will be Neon Moon in the London Gold Cup.
Love it. 7-1 with 1xBet Neon Moon. Andy Newton, your nap of the weekend is?
Yeah, that 3:30 quickly. That one at Wetherby, Take It Easy might be an interesting one. Pam Sly, 1,000 guineas winning trainer. She's won it twice before, and she's got a big price one there called Take It Easy. That's that 3:30 at Wetherby that George just talked about in the other business. The nap was going to be Lightning Flash, but the Joker has already nicked my nap on Halloween. So we're going to go with... No, I think it's a good solid MB, but I think Envoi Allen at Down Royal in the 240 looks a bit of a steal at 2-1. We talked about General Medrano in that 205 at Ascot, and then the 2 Nichols ones, both around 14-1, that 310 at Ascot, Affadil and Fatal. And then finally, just want to say, Ian Powell last week, friend of the show, came and spoke to us at Cheltenham last week. So little shout out to Ian for taking the time to come and have a little chat.
Shout out Ian Powell.
Yeah, we've got one fan at least. Hey,
prove that we've got more than one. Prove with your comments below with your horse of the season, and make sure you subscribe to the 1xBet YouTube channel, the Final Furlong Podcast YouTube channel. Smash a like on this video as well. Hopefully we'll see you at the Curragh. If you don't win, don't worry about it. There will be more opportunities to win prizes on the Final Furlong Podcast very, very soon. The nap of the weekend is Sierra Leone in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Don't say you weren't told. Back on Monday, Lizzie Kelly returns to the Final Furlong Podcast. Daryl Jacob returns to the Final Furlong Podcast. Adam Mills will be here as well, breaking down all the big racing for you. Lizzie Kelly, Daryl Jacob, Adam Mills, and myself with all the big stories, all the big races from the weekend on Monday's Final Furlong Podcast. Until then, have a great weekend. Look after yourself and each other. God bless.
Thanks for spending some time with us on the Final Furlong Podcast. We're independent media, so if you like what we do, hit like, share, and subscribe. It's free, it's quick, and it genuinely helps. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more where that came from. Don't miss out. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all major platforms, and join us on the gravy train. The Final Furlong Podcast. Independent, unfiltered, and powered by you.